Hello and welcome back. This your host Harshit Simha once again continuing the subject of SDG with an interesting topic on the Sustainable Development Goals, a global vision for our future. The Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, represent a transformative global agenda established by the United Nations to address the world's most pressing challenges. Consisting of 17 interconnected goals, the SDGs aim to eradicate poverty, reduce inequality, promote inclusive economic growth, and protect the planet, all while ensuring that no one is left behind. At the heart of this vision lies an integrated approach that unites economic, social, and environmental priorities. The SDGs recognize that lasting progress in one area depends on advancements in others. For instance, tackling climate change, SDG 13, requires attention to clean energy, SDG 7, sustainable cities, SDG 11, and responsible consumption, SDG 12. Similarly, ending poverty, SDG 1, is inextricably linked to achieving quality education, SDG 4, gender equality, SDG 5, and decent work, SDG 8. This global vision calls for collective action across governments, businesses, civil society, and individuals. It emphasizes inclusivity, innovation, and long-term thinking, fostering a future that is not only prosperous but also equitable and sustainable. Importantly, the SDGs encourage us to move beyond isolated efforts and adopt holistic solutions that reflect the complexity of today's global challenges. As we progress through this shared journey, the SDGs provide a powerful blueprint for shaping a better world. By aligning development efforts with these goals, humanity can build resilient societies, protect natural ecosystems, and promote dignity and opportunity for all, creating a future where no one is left behind. Slide 2. Agenda. Our journey through the SDGs. The journey through the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, is structured around a comprehensive agenda that highlights the key elements of this transformative global initiative. The first aspect is understanding the historical context, tracing the evolution from the Millennium Development Goals, MDGs, to the current SDGs. This transition reflects a broader, more inclusive approach to development, shaped by extensive international collaboration and consensus building to address the world's complex and interconnected challenges. Next, the agenda explores the 17 goals in detail, each with specific targets and indicators. These goals address a wide range of global issues, including poverty, hunger, health, education, gender equality, clean water, climate action, and more. They are not standalone objectives, but interconnected ambitions that work together to promote holistic and sustainable progress across societies. Implementation strategies form the third pillar of this journey, emphasizing how countries, institutions, businesses, and individuals are translating the SDGs into actionable plans. Strategies vary across contexts but generally involve policy reforms, partnerships, technological innovation, and inclusive governance models to drive progress. Finally, the agenda focuses on progress assessment, reviewing the current status of SDG implementation worldwide. This includes evaluating achievements, identifying persistent challenges, and learning from success stories. Tracking progress is essential to ensure accountability and to recalibrate efforts where necessary. Slide 3. From MDGs to SDGs, the evolution of global development. The transition from the Millennium Development Goals, MDGs, to the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, marks a significant evolution in the global development agenda, reflecting a broader and more inclusive vision for the future of humanity and the planet. Launched in 2000, the MDGs comprised 8 goals focused primarily on improving the lives of people in developing countries. These goals targeted critical issues such as extreme poverty, education, gender equality, and health. While the MDGs achieved notable successes, they were limited in scope and often criticized for their top-down approach and lack of inclusivity, particularly in addressing environmental sustainability and inequality within countries. The momentum for a more integrated framework was built at the Rio+20 conference in 2012, where world leaders agreed to develop a new set of goals that would build upon the MDGs but with a more comprehensive approach to sustainable development. This led to the formulation of the SDGs. In 2015, all 193 UN member states unanimously adopted the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, which introduced 17 SDGs and 169 associated targets. These goals aim to eradicate poverty, protect the planet, and ensure prosperity for all, with an emphasis on inclusivity, environmental sustainability, and partnership. The SDGs set a transformative agenda to be achieved by 2030, marking a significant shift from a donor-recipient development model to one of shared responsibility among all countries. This evolution underscores the global commitment to creating a more equitable, resilient, and sustainable world for current and future generations. Slide 4. Key Principles. Leaving no one behind. Leaving no one behind is the foundational promise of the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, ensuring that development benefits reach every individual, especially the most marginalized and vulnerable. This principle rests on three key pillars: universality, integration, and inclusion. Universality recognizes that unlike the Millennium Development Goals, MDGs, which focused mainly on developing nations, the SDGs apply to all countries. Every nation, irrespective of its economic status, faces sustainability challenges and must take part in global efforts. This global approach underscores that sustainable development is a shared responsibility requiring coordinated international action. Integration highlights the interconnected nature of the 17 SDGs. Economic, social, and environmental dimensions of development are deeply interdependent, and progress in one goal often advances others. For example, improving education, Goal 4, can lead to better health, Goal 3, economic growth, Goal 8, and reduced inequalities, Goal 10. This integrated approach encourages the creation of mutually reinforcing objectives that enable holistic development strategies. Inclusion emphasizes the importance of ensuring that no individual or community is excluded from the benefits of development. The SDGs prioritize reaching the poorest and most vulnerable first, aiming to address systemic inequalities and barriers to access. This means focusing on inclusive growth, equal opportunities, and equitable participation in all spheres of life, ensuring that development is just and empowering for all. Together, these principles form the ethical backbone of the SDGs, shaping a more equitable, resilient, and sustainable world where every person can thrive. Slide 5. The 5 Pillars of Sustainable Development. The Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, are underpinned by 5 core pillars: people, planet, prosperity, peace, and partnership, each reflecting a fundamental dimension of sustainable development. Together, these pillars provide a holistic framework to guide global efforts toward a more equitable, inclusive, and sustainable future. People focuses on ending poverty and hunger in all forms, while ensuring that all individuals can live with dignity and equality. It promotes access to essential services such as healthcare, education, and social protection, while advancing gender equality to empower all segments of society. Planet emphasizes the urgent need to protect our natural ecosystems and climate for current and future generations. This involves taking action against climate change, safeguarding biodiversity, and promoting sustainable consumption and resource use to reduce environmental degradation. Prosperity aims to ensure that all people can enjoy prosperous and fulfilling lives in harmony with nature. It supports inclusive economic growth, technological advancement, and the reduction of inequalities to foster equitable opportunities and well-being. Peace is essential for sustainable development, advocating for the creation of peaceful, just, and inclusive societies. This includes ensuring access to justice, building effective and accountable institutions, and fostering conflict resolution and social cohesion. Partnership recognizes the importance of global collaboration to achieve the SDGs. It calls for strong multi-stakeholder alliances, effective resource mobilization, and knowledge sharing to implement the 2030 Agenda. Together, these 5 interconnected pillars guide global development efforts, ensuring that progress is inclusive, environmentally responsible, and anchored in shared human values. Slide 6. Overview. The 17 Sustainable Development Goals. The 17 Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, represent a global consensus on a unified pathway toward sustainable development, encompassing economic growth, social inclusion, and environmental sustainability. Each goal addresses a specific challenge, ranging from eradicating poverty and hunger to promoting gender equality, sustainable cities, and climate action, yet all function cohesively as part of an integrated framework designed to transform the world by 2030. These goals are not just aspirational, they are grounded in measurable targets and indicators. With 169 specific targets and over 230 indicators, the SDGs provide a comprehensive blueprint for governments, institutions, and communities to assess progress, identify gaps, and adapt strategies for effective implementation. Importantly, the SDGs emphasize interconnectedness. Progress in one goal often influences and supports progress in others. For example, improving education, Goal 4, enhances gender equality, Goal 5, and promotes decent work and economic growth, Goal 8. This ambitious global agenda requires all countries, regardless of income or development level, to align their national strategies with the SDGs. While the challenges may differ across regions, the shared goals enable collective progress and global solidarity. From addressing systemic inequality to combating climate change, the SDGs offer both a visionary roadmap and actionable strategies to ensure that development is inclusive, equitable, and sustainable. In essence, the SDGs are call to action for humanity to collaborate across boundaries and sectors, ensuring that no one is left behind while building a resilient and prosperous future for people and the planet. Slide 7. SDGs 1-4, Basic Human Needs. The first 4 Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, address the most fundamental human needs: eliminating poverty, ending hunger, ensuring good health, and providing quality education. These goals form the bedrock for sustainable development and are crucial for building equitable, resilient, and prosperous societies. SDG 1. No Poverty aims to eradicate extreme poverty and reduce relative poverty through inclusive social protection systems, access to economic resources, and targeted support for vulnerable populations. The goal emphasizes building resilience to economic, social, and environmental shocks. SDG 2. Zero Hunger focuses on ending hunger and improving food security through better agricultural practices, sustainable food systems, and equitable access to nutritious food. It seeks to enhance productivity while preserving ecosystems and ensuring long-term sustainability. SDG 3. Good Health and Well-being ensures access to quality healthcare for all. It targets universal health coverage, reduction in maternal and child mortality, control of epidemics, and addressing non-communicable diseases and mental health challenges. A strong health system is essential for achieving broader development goals. SDG 4. Quality education promotes inclusive and equitable education for all, emphasizing lifelong learning opportunities. Special attention is given to eliminating gender disparities and addressing the educational needs of marginalized groups, ensuring no one is left behind. Together, these goals form a powerful agenda for tackling the root causes of inequality and empowering individuals with the tools to lead healthy, productive, and fulfilling lives. Achieving them is essential for unlocking the potential of communities and advancing global development. Slide 8. SDGs 5-6, Inclusion and Basic Resources. Sustainable Development Goals 5 and 6 focus on vital aspects of inclusion and the equitable provision of essential resources. These goals are fundamental to building a just and sustainable world where every individual can thrive. SDG 5. Gender equality aims to eliminate all forms of discrimination and violence against women and girls. It promotes equal participation in leadership and decision-making processes and seeks to dismantle harmful practices like child marriage and female genital mutilation. The goal also emphasizes recognizing unpaid care work and ensuring universal access to sexual and reproductive health services. Gender equality is not only a human right but also a cornerstone of economic growth and sustainable development. Empowering women and girls accelerates progress across all development areas, making this goal a critical enabler of the entire SDG agenda. SDG 6. Clean water and sanitation targets the sustainable management and availability of water for all. With over 40% of the global population affected by water scarcity, a figure that is expected to rise due to climate change, this goal underscores the urgency of universal access to safe drinking water, improved sanitation, and hygiene. It also calls for the protection of water-related ecosystems and the implementation of integrated water resource management to ensure long-term sustainability. Together, SDGs 5 and 6 highlight the interconnectedness of social inclusion and basic human needs. Achieving these goals will ensure that no one is left behind in the pursuit of sustainable development. Slide 9. SDGs 7 to 9, Infrastructure and Innovation. Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, 7 to 9 focus on building the essential foundation for inclusive and sustainable growth through energy, employment, and infrastructure. SDG 7, Affordable and Clean Energy aims to ensure universal access to reliable, modern energy services. Access to affordable and clean energy is critical for improving quality of life, enabling economic activity, and supporting the global transition from fossil fuels to renewable energy sources. It plays a fundamental role in empowering communities, reducing poverty, and addressing climate change. SDG 8, Decent Work and Economic Growth promotes sustained, inclusive, and sustainable economic growth, along with full and productive employment. By creating opportunities for decent work, particularly for young people and individuals with disabilities, this goal supports social inclusion and reduces inequalities. It underlines the importance of economic development that is environmentally sound and socially inclusive. SDG 9, Industry, Innovation and Infrastructure emphasizes the development of resilient infrastructure, promotion of inclusive and sustainable industrialization, and fostering innovation. These components are essential for economic advancement and competitiveness, particularly in developing countries. They contribute to connectivity, support industries, and lay the groundwork for technological progress and job creation. Together, SDGs 7 to 9 aim to build the physical and economic infrastructure required for sustainable development. They are interconnected, as energy access fuels industry, infrastructure supports economic activities, and innovation drives long-term growth. Achieving these goals is key to ensuring a future that balances prosperity with environmental and social sustainability. Slide 10. SDGs 10 to 12, Equality and Responsible Consumption. Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, 10 to 12 emphasize the need for a fairer, more inclusive, and environmentally conscious society. These goals aim to improve quality of life while addressing social inequalities and unsustainable consumption patterns. SDG 10, Reduced Inequalities focuses on diminishing disparities within and among countries. It calls for inclusive policies that enhance equality across fiscal, wage, and social protection systems. By ensuring broader participation in economic and social life, it strengthens social cohesion and promotes shared prosperity. Tackling inequality is essential for peaceful societies and stable economies. SDG 11, Sustainable Cities and Communities aims to make urban environments inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. As urban areas continue to grow rapidly, effective urban planning becomes vital. This goal encourages the development of infrastructure and public spaces that accommodate all, especially vulnerable groups, while minimizing environmental degradation. It supports smarter growth strategies that enhance the livability and sustainability of cities. SDG 12, Responsible Consumption and Production seeks to promote sustainable use of resources through efficient production systems and reduced waste. It addresses the imbalance between economic growth and resource exploitation, encouraging a circular economy and improved global supply chain practices. Reducing food waste, promoting recycling, and encouraging sustainable lifestyles are key aspects of this goal. Together, SDGs 10 to 12 highlight the interconnected nature of social equity, sustainable urbanization, and environmental stewardship. Achieving these goals is critical to ensuring long-term prosperity, reducing global disparities, and protecting the planet's resources for future generations. Slide 11, SDGs 13 to 15, Environmental Protection. Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, 13 to 15 focus on environmental protection, recognizing the urgent need to safeguard the planet's climate, oceans, and terrestrial ecosystems for future generations. SDG 13, Climate Action highlights the urgent challenge of climate change and the necessity of immediate and sustained global action. This goal promotes the integration of climate change measures into national policies, education, and planning processes. It also emphasizes improving awareness, capacity building, and financial support, particularly for developing nations, to enhance their ability to mitigate and adapt to the impacts of climate change. SDG 14, Life Below Water is dedicated to conserving and sustainably using the oceans, seas, and marine resources. Oceans play a crucial role in biodiversity, food security, and carbon sequestration, yet face threats from pollution, overfishing, and acidification. This goal targets the reduction of marine pollution, restoration of fish stocks, sustainable management of marine ecosystems, and enhanced protection of oceanic biodiversity. SDG 15, Life on Land seeks to protect, restore, and promote the sustainable use of terrestrial ecosystems. It aims to combat desertification, halt land degradation, and protect biodiversity. The goal emphasizes the conservation of forests, wetlands, and mountains, and the prevention of poaching and invasive species. Integrating ecosystem values into national and local planning is key to ensuring long-term ecological balance. Together, these goals form the core of the global environmental agenda, promoting a healthy planet through climate resilience, ocean conservation, and land ecosystem protection, crucial for sustainable development and human survival. Slide 12. SDGs 16 to 17, Peace and Partnership. Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, 16 and 17 are foundational to achieving the entire 2030 agenda, focusing on peace, justice, strong institutions, and global partnerships. SDG 16, Peace, Justice, and Strong Institutions aims to build inclusive, peaceful societies where everyone has access to justice, and institutions operate transparently and effectively. The goal addresses critical challenges such as reducing violence, ending abuse and exploitation, promoting the rule of law, and combating corruption. It emphasizes the need for accountable governance that upholds human rights and creates a secure environment for development to flourish. Without peace and stability, sustainable development cannot be realized. SDG 17, Partnerships for the Goals underscores the importance of global cooperation in achieving sustainable development. It calls for strong international partnerships that mobilize resources, enhance policy coherence, and facilitate the transfer of knowledge, technology, and skills. This includes fostering trade, supporting capacity building, and ensuring inclusive participation in the global economy, particularly for developing countries. A vital component of SDG 17 is monitoring and accountability, which focuses on improving data systems and statistical capabilities in developing nations. It emphasizes tracking progress through metrics that go beyond traditional GDP, including social and environmental indicators that reflect real development outcomes. Together, SDGs 16 and 17 provide the enabling conditions necessary for sustainable development. They recognize that peace, justice, effective governance, and strong international cooperation are interlinked and essential for addressing global challenges and achieving a better future for all. Slide 13. Measuring Progress, the Framework of Targets and Indicators. Measuring progress toward the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, requires a structured framework of targets, indicators, and regular assessments. This ensures that commitments translate into measurable action and real-world outcomes. The SDG framework includes 169 targets, each linked to one of the 17 goals. These targets break down the broad ambitions of the SDGs into specific, actionable objectives. For instance, Target 4.1 under SDG 4 aims to ensure that all girls and boys complete free, equitable, and quality primary and secondary education. These targets guide governments and organizations in implementing policies and initiatives tailored to each goal. To evaluate progress on these targets, 232 indicators have been developed. These are quantifiable metrics designed to offer an objective basis for tracking advancement. Indicators provide the data necessary for assessing performance and guiding future efforts. For example, Indicator 4.1.1 measures the percentage of children achieving minimum proficiency in reading and mathematics by the end of primary school, offering a clear benchmark for educational progress. In addition, voluntary national reviews, VNRs, play a key role in the accountability process. Countries voluntarily prepare these reviews to share their progress, identify challenges, and highlight successful strategies. VNRs promote transparency and foster global cooperation by encouraging nations to learn from one another and improve collective outcomes. Together, the targets, indicators, and VNRs create a comprehensive framework that enables consistent tracking, comparison, and accountability in the journey toward achieving the SDGs. They transform global goals into tangible milestones for development. Slide 14. Current progress, Global Snapshot. The Global Snapshot of Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, progress reveals a mixed picture, reflecting uneven advancement across various domains. Significant strides have been made in areas such as poverty reduction and education access, where international and national efforts have led to tangible improvements. Enhanced access to basic education and targeted poverty alleviation programs have contributed to better outcomes in many regions. However, progress remains uneven, with key areas like climate action and reducing inequality lagging behind. Despite growing awareness, efforts to mitigate climate change and implement equitable policies have been slow and inconsistent. Similarly, gender equality and clean water access show only moderate progress, indicating ongoing challenges in ensuring universal rights and basic services. The chart highlights these disparities, demonstrating that while some goals are advancing well, others require urgent attention and accelerated action. This is particularly important for interdependent goals, where setbacks in one area can impact progress in others. The COVID-19 pandemic further disrupted SDG progress, severely affecting healthcare systems, education continuity, and economic development worldwide. The crisis reversed some development gains and exposed vulnerabilities in global systems. Yet, it also reinforced the relevance of the SDG framework, as many nations began integrating sustainability into their recovery strategies. Overall, while the SDGs continue to provide a valuable blueprint for development, the global community must intensify efforts, address gaps, and strengthen international cooperation to ensure balanced, inclusive progress toward the 2030 Agenda. Slide 15. Personal Engagement, Becoming an SDG Champion. The attached slide, Personal Engagement, Becoming an SDG Champion, outlines practical and impactful ways individuals can contribute to achieving the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs. It emphasizes that becoming an SDG champion isn't reserved for policymakers or global leaders. It's about integrating sustainable practices into daily life and professional endeavors. One primary avenue is sustainable living. This involves making conscious choices, especially in high-consumption societies, to reduce one's environmental footprint. Adopting more sustainable diets, such as those with less meat and more plant-based foods, can significantly reduce carbon emissions by up to 50% according to the slide. Minimizing waste through practices like recycling and composting, choosing energy-efficient appliances, and reconsidering transportation options, e.g., public transport, cycling, walking, all contribute to multiple SDGs. Beyond their positive environmental impact, these choices often lead to improved personal well-being and financial savings. Another crucial aspect is advocacy and awareness. Becoming an SDG champion means actively raising awareness about the SDGs within one's personal networks and communities. This public support is vital for driving broader policy change. Tools like the SDGs in Action app can make it easier to learn about the goals and share information on social media. Engaging in advocacy for sustainable practices in the workplace, school, or community organizations can create significant ripple effects, inspiring others to take action and fostering a collective commitment to the SDGs. Finally, professional contributions offer a powerful way to champion the SDGs. Every profession has unique opportunities to contribute. Engineers can design sustainable infrastructure, creating resilient and eco-friendly cities. Healthcare workers can advocate for universal coverage, addressing health inequalities, SDG 3. Educators can integrate sustainability principles into curricula, shaping the minds of future generations, SDG 4. Business professionals can champion responsible production and consumption practices within their organizations, SDG 12. The SDG Academy offers free online courses, providing professionals with the knowledge and tools to connect their work directly to the global goals, thereby leveraging their expertise for a greater purpose. In essence, becoming an SDG champion is about recognizing that every individual has a role to play, whether through personal lifestyle choices, community engagement, or professional dedication, in advancing the global agenda for a sustainable and equitable future. Here, part 1 of the topic concludes. Tomorrow, we shall proceed with part 2.